The other day, for no particular reason, I decided to see if I could recreate a dish from 7-Eleven with ingredients from 7-Eleven. And I have a sweet tooth, so I went straight for the dessert section, and they had just released a bunch of fall-themed sweets. So I had a few options, and I chose the tarte tatin, which is kind of an apple pie. I'll explain what it is later. If you don't know it, this is what the original dessert looks like. And since this one looked like a basic muffin cake with apples, I could get all the ingredients at 7-Eleven: butter, apples, flour, etc. But they're pretty expensive if you buy them in the convenience stores, so I added a quick pit stop at my local supermarket. All right, I got all my ingredients right here, ready to go. I think you can find all of this at 7-Eleven, except maybe the vanilla extract. And I don't know if you can find vanilla extract at 7-Eleven. I didn't look. But because the sort of cake underneath the tarte tatin really reminded me of some cupcakes that I've had, and I think this will help us get closer to the taste. I'm not sure, but we'll try. I also got some hot cake mix. If I fail to make a good dough with what I have here, I'll use this. I saw that this was a good shortcut to making a pie, especially without an oven, which I don't have. We're gonna try to make everything in a pan. But first things first, let's get to work on the apples. When I was a kid, I never really understood why people kept referring to tarte tatin as an upside-down apple pie. I mean, the apples are still on top when you eat them. It's only much later than I realized that it's actually in the way it's prepared. The apples go first in the pan or in the oven, and then the crust, or in this case the muffin, goes on top. So for the first step of my preparation, I'm gonna need some butter, some sugar, and we're gonna make a caramel. For the apples, you can see the slices here are pretty thin, so I'm gonna make my best effort to copy that. I don't need it to look pretty, I'm just gonna dump them all right here to cook. For the muffin part, I'm not gonna make too much. Just gonna crack an egg, add just a bit of oil, not too much. My vanilla extract, there we go. Bit of sugar, then I'm just gonna eyeball everything else. A random amount of flour. Just a bit of milk till we're at the right consistency. Almost forgot the baking powder. I don't think I need much. Alright, let's go check on the apples. For the longest time, I believed the story about how this dessert was invented, and it goes like this. There was a cook for the king in Versailles who prepared apple pies for the king, who was very fond of them. However, the corridors were so long that she had to rush from one end to the other in order to deliver the food on time, and accidentally she dropped the apple pie. The apple pie became all jumbled up upside down, so she collected what remained of it, cooked it a second time, and gave it to the king, who loved it. Her name was Miss Tatin, and that's how this tarte tatin got its name. Of course, that story is complete fiction. There were two sisters called Tatin who owned a hotel, sort of like a B&B, I suppose, and they are more likely to be the true inventors. There was no Miss Tatin who worked in Versailles. I was wondering how I was gonna recreate the 7-Eleven dessert in a cupcake form, so I got these. I'm gonna try to use these to make the pie. There we go, it's time to check out the results of our first try. They've been cooling in the fridge overnight, so they should be a bit easier to get out of their little cupcake holder. Let's check it out. This one is one of the ones that was in the frying pan. This one is the one that was in the toaster. I have very little faith in either of them, but full disclosure, my wife tried one last night and she really liked it, which surprised me. But let's have a look. Alright, so visually speaking, it's not bad, but the first impression is that the caramel is a little overdone. It's much darker than the one on the original 7-Eleven dessert, which means it's gonna be more bitter, less sweet. And the cupcake on the bottom is denser. It doesn't have the fluffiness of the original dessert. Let's have a taste. Let's have a bite. You know what? It's actually really good. I really like it. It's not super sweet, but it's really nice. I don't know if I got like a bite with a lot of apple. Maybe that's why. It's pretty good. It's not bitter. It's not burnt. I like it a lot, actually. And with the vanilla extract, I think you're getting close to the cake taste for this. It's just not very sweet because I didn't put enough sugar, but yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. All right, I still have some apples, and I'm not gonna make the traditional tarte tatin, but I want to try the recipe with the pancake mix. Oh, good. I'm gonna start by putting the butter, adding the sugar. I'm gonna add the apples right now.
A few moments later.
Oh no, I just realized that we used all the pancake mix for breakfast and I can't go to 7-Eleven because the apples are already cooking. Alright. Plan B. Alright, so change of plans. I lowered the heat on the caramel to give me a bit of more time to prep, and we're gonna make a crust, but I can't have a pie crust that needs time to rest because I'm already cooking. So I'm just gonna put the rest of my butter in a bowl. Add some flour, bit of water. You should have the water salted, but since my butter is already salted, I'm not gonna do that. And then start mixing everything by hand. So. I was so not ready for this that I don't even have a rolling pin. So I'm going to be using this thermos that I just washed. It's a disaster. Boy, am I not good at this. It might be the last cooking video I make. I can't mess this up because I don't have the ingredients or the time to try again, so let's do this. So I suppose we are very much straying away from the dessert I was trying to reproduce, and getting closer to the original recipe for the tarte tatin. Except we still don't have an oven, so I'm gonna keep it on very low heat and for a long time. See what happens. I think I'm on the right track though. If I can get that same base crust without burning the caramel, then I'm gonna have the perfect tarte tatin. So I got more apples. Let's try one last time. So here we are. I'm done with this experiment. As a reminder, this is the dessert from 7-Eleven. I'll look up close. Wonderful, consistent, you know what you're getting. And this is my attempt at getting close. At least I got the name of the dessert correct. That's a tarte tatin. It was built upside down. It really looks and smells delicious. I really want to bite into it, but everybody's asleep now in my home, so I'm gonna wait till tomorrow because I want to get my daughter's and wife's comments on this, see what they think of it. But even without tasting it, I can already give my final verdict. This looks better for my taste, but it took me 3 attempts. It takes a lot of time, and in the end, the ingredients cost as much, if not more, as just buying this knife. On the other hand, this is convenient. It's fast. It's a bit of a luxurious treat for yourself. You can get it 24/7 when it's in season. So as far as I'm concerned, I think 7-Eleven wins this round, but there are lots of other snacks at 7-Eleven that we can try to recreate. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.